Hey everyone, it's Algranath here from The Right Way. Just came across this article about Apple's plans to try and protect people against child abuse. Um, so let's have a look at this because obviously no one wants to promote child abuse in terms of pornographic images and so on, but we also can't lose sight of the fact that we could lose our freedoms as part of this actual process. So let's have a look at what Apple has tried to push through and thankfully has been delayed because of the backlash. So Apple's plan to scan for child abuse images tears at the heart of privacy. Security experts say that technology on iPhones could open the door to mass surveillance and be misused. So what is Apple trying to do? I don't know if you've come across this or not. Technology like that proposed by Apple to search iPhones for child sexual abuse images would open the door to mass surveillance and will be vulnerable to exploitation, world-leading security and cryptography experts have said. Client-side scanning, CSS, gives access to data on users' devices, including stored data, which brings surveillance to a new level, according to analysis from academics at Harvard Kennedy School, MIT, and the University of Cambridge, among others. So they're not scanning things that you upload into your iCloud if you have an Apple account. They're actually wanting to scan images and things which are on your physical phone, right? So it's not just what you upload, it's actually what's on your phone. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm not a child abuser, I don't have child pornography on my phone. But remember, that's how it starts, and then it can be increased to include other things as well. So let's carry on reading what they actually talk about. They write that the technology which introduces background software on users' devices, so they're installing background software that will always be running, you can't get rid of it, tears at the heart of privacy of individual citizens, but is also fallible and could be evaded by those meant to be targeted and misused. So if the people that are targeted find a way of getting around it, then everyone else still has to suffer through this, right? So essentially what Apple is doing is they're saying, hey, all of you customers that are Apple customers, we think you are child abusers, so we're going to scan everything to make sure that you're not child abusers. So we're not innocent until we're proven guilty. We're guilty until we're proven innocent by them having to scan our phones, right? So that's the mentality of these big corporations. Bring it in with some idea that no one wants to go against, and then you slowly start to increase the surveillance and things of people. In Bugs in Our Pockets, the risks of client-side scanning, a 46-page analysis of CSS published in an open access website. Authors say, in reality, CSS is bulk intercept, albeit automated and distributed. CSS makes law-abiding citizens more vulnerable with their personal devices searchable on an industrial scale. So think of that, they can search for anything on your device. It starts off as images, but it could be further used to search for anything on your device, right? Imagine if they sold this to the Chinese government, and then the Chinese government could keep even extra careful tabs on all their citizens and so on, right? It starts off really small and it keeps building, building, and building. So we need to be really, really careful about this. So kind of what Apple is trying to do is basically, actually I think it goes on to discuss it here, so we'll just read through this. Plainly put, it is a dangerous technology. Even if deployed initially to scan for child sex abuse material, content that is clearly illegal, there would be enormous pressure to expand its scope. We would then be hard-pressed to find any way to resist its expansion or to control or abuse the system. So you can imagine the police say, hey, can you start scanning iPhones for these legal things? Can you start scanning iPhones for these things? And it just keeps getting built on more and more and more. Apple's plans unveiled this year involve a technique called perceptual hashing to compare photos with known images of child abuse when users upload them to the cloud. If the company detects enough matches, it would manually review the images before flagging the user account to law enforcement. So basically what they're saying is that your images that you have on your phone are using an algorithm basically converted down to a series of numbers, And if your series of numbers match the series of numbers for a child pornography image, then it would flag it, and then a person in Apple would then access the images on your phone to review that particular image before sending it on to law enforcement. Right? So eventually someone could start looking through the images on your phone, which is pretty scary, right? No one has any right to do that. We have a right to privacy. Now, who's to say that, you might be just watching your 2-year-old having a bath and they do something funny, you take a picture of it, send it to your partner for them to have a look at. Well, that could be classed as child pornography, couldn't it? If it scans it through your phone. So there are lots of things that you have to be really, really careful with about this. Apple paused the implementation after a backlash from privacy campaigners, no kidding, last month, but not before researchers managed to construct vastly different images that produce the same fingerprint and thus would appear identical to Apple's scanning system, creating false positives. So there you go, they actually managed to create images which were different but still had the same series of numbers to create a false positive. Others managed to do the reverse, change the mathematical output of an image without changing how it looks at all, thereby creating false positives. So there are ways to get around it, and they're going to basically put this on all of their customers around the world, when the people that you're going to be trying to stop will probably figure out ways around it anyway. And in fact, how many child pornographers go around carrying child porn on their phones? I mean, seriously, are they actually that stupid? It might be like 0.5% of them, and then you're trying to force this on everyone. Of course we don't like child pornography. We are all against child pornography. All child pornography should be shot or executed, is my opinion. But that's not the point. We can't give up our freedoms for this kind of stuff. The report authors say people may also try to disable scanners or avoid using devices such as iPhones with CFS. They added, the software provider, the infrastructure operator, and the targeting curator must all be trusted. If any of them or their key employees misbehave or are corrupted, hacked, or coerced, so there you go, right? So what if someone blackmails someone else to say, hey, you better give us all this information, or else you're going to be, we have some dirt on you, we're going to lay that out. So obviously this is not a fail-safe system at all. While CSS may be mooted as intended to target the specific content, the report warns, come the next terrorist scare, a little push will be all that is needed to curtail or remove the current. Obviously, right? So some big terrorist thing happens, right? We need to use Apple's CSS scanning system to start scanning all the iPhones around the country for suspected terrorists. We do not live in a totalitarian society. This cannot go on. It just cannot be brought into being. It points out that Apple appears to have yielded to state pressure before, such as moving the iCloud data of its Chinese users to data centers under the control of a Chinese state-owned company, and removing the jailed Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny's tactical voting app from its Russian app store. So Apple have already yielded to totalitarian governments before already. So who's to say they couldn't do it for any other reason? Ross Anderson, one of the report's co-authors and a professor of security engineering at the University of Cambridge, said, it's a very small step from there, targeting child sexual abuse material, to having various governments saying, here's a list of other images we'd like to put on the naughty pictures list for iPhones in our country. Of course, they will try and make use of that. Approach for comment, Apple referred The Guardian to a statement that said, based on feedback from customers, advocacy groups, researchers and others, we've decided to take additional time over the coming months to collect input and make improvements before releasing this critically important child safety. So it's still coming, right? They're still going to do it, right? They just want more time to try and refine it, but they're still going to do it. So if you're an iPhone user, you want to think very carefully, because you're obviously not going to be a child pornographer, but they can start to use it for nefarious means and you won't have any idea at all. Do you want people looking through your phone? Then obviously you don't want to do that, right? So it will be a good time to move away from Apple to other types of phones. This is a really important article that I came across, just needed to bring it to the attention of someone. If you know of someone who might be interested in this, please share it with them, because the more people know about this kind of stuff that's happening, the better it is for us. We can't let these tech companies start to control society. We can't let them do this. Alright, well that's it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you're welcome to give me a thumbs down. If you like my content, then please give me a subscription. It'll be awesome because it helps my videos to get noticed by the YouTube algorithm, and it helps others to find it. If you have any comments on this, either good or bad, I'd love to read what you say. That would be very much appreciated as well. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next video.